Humanity is currently operating a fundamentally defective economic operating system. We parade around this planet acting as system administrators, dictating the flow of nature, when the physical reality is that we are inept, novice operators who have entirely lost the manual. Our civilization, which is driven entirely by ownership and accumulation, is a fatal error, a system bug, and it is leading directly to physical collapse. We require a complete OS rewrite from ownership to a circular flow of resources.
Look, framing our entire civilization as a mere system bug is a terrifying oversimplification. Accumulation isn't a software error. It is the intrinsic engine of human progress. I mean, it's the complex survival mechanism that keeps 8 billion people alive today. You can't just overwrite that without...
The global economy is suffering from severe constipation. Instead of a natural cycle, wealth and resources pool at the top like a blood clot. It has been reduced to a mere digital collection of numbers. Thousands of years ago, humanity humbly begged the skies for rain. Today, we sit in climate-controlled rooms, angrily hitting our keyboards, complaining that Earth's updates are too slow and that economic growth is insufficient. We are staring at a clogged, backing up toilet, and you are insisting we call it a fountain.
Wait, a backing up toilet? You're ignoring the massive scale of human cooperation. Yes, inequalities exist, but your framing is a comedic exaggeration. You act as if the modern economy is a dinner party where one guest orders a full course, monopolizes and charges for the neighbor's oxygen, and lets their own food rot on the plate while telling the neighbor their suffocation is personal responsibility.
Because that is a precise physical reality of our resource consumption. We act like idiots who believe the Earth will infinitely respawn like in Minecraft.
But we use those resources to innovate.
There is no continue button implemented in the physical universe. We treat the limits of our planet with a social game mentality, believing that when natural resources run out, we can simply pay to continue through tech. We are drinking Earth's juice with a single straw and tossing the empty cup into space. That is the disposable economy. We are literally withdrawing all our historical savings, setting them on fire to roast a single marshmallow, and claiming the economy is activated.
If we stop burning those savings, how do we fund the transition? Let's use the supercomputer analogy from the source material because I think it proves my point. Yes, our current technological drive acts like a state-of-the-art supercomputer. And to function, it drains the neighbor's pool to cool itself down and drowns the neighbor in the thermal runoff. I admit that's a flaw. But the solution isn't to smash the computer, it is to redesign the plumbing.
You cannot redesign the plumbing of a machine fundamentally programmed to offload fatal packet loss onto human beings. Look at the absolute dark comedy of how this system distributes wealth. A high-end restaurant owner shreds a premium steak because the plating is wrong. Starving children watch from the alley. Inside, oblivious guests debate wine brands.
That is an extreme example of bad actors. It's not the...
In reality, that steak was the natural portion for the people digging in the trash. The current OS forces human potential into manufacturing clothes that become literal trash in mere months. We are throwing away the hardware of human lives to optimize a flawed software application.
You are completely misunderstanding the motivations of the people inside the restaurant. They aren't just evil, they are terrified of the outside. Advanced nations aren't utopias, they suffer from their own bugs. Modern life in these places is basically solitary confinement with premium wallpaper.
The survival cost is fatally inflated.
Exactly. People live in these smart homes, but they are forced to work 24 hours a day to pay the mortgage. They lose even the time to sleep. Everyone is a victim of an inflated survival cost. A sudden shift to your circular flow is terrifying for those barely clinging to their status.
The fact that the inhabitants of your system are working themselves to death to maintain a digital ledger proves the system is broken. We are passengers at a buffet who hoard mountains of food and then drill a hole in the bottom of the ship to build a fire to reheat it. The footsteps of the sinking ship are louder than the orchestra, yet the passengers are posting on SNS that today's wine is the best.
Because they need a localized sense of security.
They are living in the absolute illusion that they are on a safe deck. We are stuffing gold bars into the drain while the faucet is turned on full blast and calling the overflow growth. It is a suicidal design.
Okay, but if you demand we clear our clogging of pride, how do we fix the fundamental historical mistake of why the ship was designed with holes in the first place? It is easy for you to criticize the orchestra, but dismantling the concept of ownership mid-voyage will sink us faster.
The ship is already tearing itself apart. The current economic OS cannot be sustained through minor patches or plumbing adjustments. The external diseconomies are physical laws asserting themselves against our flawed code.
But disregarding the structural incentives of accumulation risks ignoring human nature. The challenge is reforming the system without destroying the engine. We need a complex structural patch, not a total OS overwrite that assumes people will just give up their security.
The engine is destroying the environment it requires to run. Shifting to a circular flow is not about being morally good. It is a cold, rational necessity for physical survival before the ship fully sinks. We must clear our pride, admit that we are merely novice operators, and overwrite the code. It is the only rational investment for our survival.